For lesson 10.6, I have two videos, and since the whole thing is pretty much review, you may want to use the videos to just check. So you should go through the lesson and make sure you can do all of the things because we have a test. And there are a couple of changes I'm going to make for our 2021 year, so you'll want to pay attention to those. But do the first one with me just so I can talk about the changes I'm going to make. And then if you want to go through the video and just see like what other answers I've got and make sure you can do that right, then that's how you can use this video. Okay, one of the changes I'm going to make for the 2021 school year is we are only going to be doing 90-degree rotations, 90, 180, and 270. And so you'll notice on number 1 that I have a different number there. I want you to replace it with 90. So what we're going to do for this assignment and the homework is you are going to change any degree rotation to either 90 or 180 depending on which one's closer. So if I give you like 130 degrees, it's closer to 90, so you'll do 90. If I give you something like 217 degrees, it's closer to 180, so you'll do 180. I'm not going to give you something that's closer to 270, so don't worry about that one. So anyway, that's the change that we're going to make here, and so you want to make sure you're paying attention to that because I'm not going to be doing the different odd-numbered rotations on this lesson. For the first part of number 1, I'm going to rotate point A. I'm going to rotate it 180 degrees around the point 0, -4. So this is going to be my center, and so just visualizing what that's going to look like, it's going to be going like that. And so I'm going to look at my slope, -3/4. I think that might help if you write the slope down, like literally write it on your paper and then write the opposite reciprocal and then plan it out like what you're doing. Actually, on this one, we don't need the opposite reciprocal, do we? Because we're going 180 degrees. So I'm just going to go down 3 and over 4 more, and there's my A prime. When you're doing 90 degrees, I would write that down just because it's easy to get messed up and go the wrong direction. And so on your quiz, on your test, you're going to have to write your ordered pair for A prime. And so that's going to be 4, -7. Okay, the second part, I am changing this to a 90 degree and it's clockwise. So make sure you get the clockwise part because if you go counterclockwise, it's going to be wrong. So I'm going to take B, I'm going to go around the point -5, +5. This is going to be my center. Actually, let me do that in a different color. This is going to be the center. So what's going to happen, visualize it, is B is going to rotate that direction. Now, if I look at my slope right there, that's just a nice horizontal line so that I know my 90 degree is going to be a nice vertical line. And so I just have to count how many the difference is. So 9, and so I'm going to go down here, and this will be my B prime. And so that one was pretty easy to do. So that's going to be -5, -4. So for all the ones today, you're just going to change the angle of rotation. If it's something like 67 degrees, you're going to go to 90. So you're going to just be changing those. So number 2, I'm changing this one to 180 and this one to 90. So make sure you make note of that and do it that way. And then you can come back and make sure you did it right. On number 2, I am going to be rotating point M clockwise around -2, -2. So this is my center, and I'm going to be going that direction. I'm going to be going 180 degrees, so it's going to end up over here. Like I've said before, I always like to visualize where it's going to be because then it helps me make sure I'm ending up in the right place. So with M, I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, and over 1. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, and over 1. Here's M prime. And then for P, I'm going to go clockwise again. This time I'm going 90 degrees around the same point. So this point right here is still going to be my center. This is going to go 90 degrees. And so I'm going to be looking at this slope right there. So it's -2/5. So my opposite reciprocal is 5/2. So I'm going to be going up 5/2. And I'm going to be going from the center. So I'm going to be going, since it's positive slope, I'm going to be going down 5 and backwards 2. And so this has to be 90 degrees. And so +5/2 right there, -2/5 right there, so that looks correct. And so my ordered pair for P would be right there, so P prime. So P prime would be -4, -7, and M prime was -3, -5. Okay, I'm skipping over to number 6 on this one. This one is what we call a complex or a compound transformation because it's got one transformation followed by another transformation. So this one we're going to first do a rotation followed by a translation. So two things. So first I'm going to take all of the points, I'm going to rotate them 90 degrees, so that's going to go this direction, around the point -3, +1. So -1, 2, 3, positive. This is going to be my center. So my whole triangle is going to be going at 90 degrees that direction. And so I'm going to end up with a triangle like somewhere in that area. And so if you want to pause the video and just make sure you got the rotation right, and then you'll follow it by a translation. So you're going to have like x prime, and then when you do another another transformation, you're going to call it x double prime. Okay, so x, this is a slope of -4, so I'm going to go a slope of +1/4. This will be my x prime. And then for z, it's a slope of 1/7, and so -7. So because it's got to go that way, I need to kind of visualize it. So I'm going to go up 7 and backwards 1. So this is going to be my z prime. And then my y prime, sometimes it helps because I get distracted like which point, so I kind of draw some lines just to help me keep it straight. So that slope right there is going to be down 3 over 7. So 7/3 is going to be the slope I'm going to use for that. So from my point of origin, make sure that that's where you're starting. I'm going to go up 7 and then over 3 because it has to be a positive slope. So negative slope, positive slope, 90 degrees. So that's looking right. And so this point right here, that will be my y prime. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect my points and make my new triangle. I want to just check when I'm doing this. Another thing you can check is you can see like, okay, y and z were in a straight line, so that still looks right. This right here, that triangle right there, it looks like this one. So it looks like I'm okay. So I just want to make sure that all my proportions are still the same. Now I'm going to follow that rotation now by another transformation described by this rule. So everything is going to go to the right 2 and down 1. I'll take z and go down 2 or over 2, down 1, so that's z prime, double prime, and then y over 2 down 1, so that's y double prime, and then x over 2 down 1, so this is x double prime. And so now we have a different image. It's still going to be congruent, still the same proportionally, but this is going to be my final image. And so if I was to write x double prime, that's going to be a different point than x prime was. So for x double prime, that's going to be 3, 1. Y double prime will be 2, 7. And z double prime will be -2, +7. Okay, in the second video, I'm going over the other problems that I didn't do in this one. And so not just to really just skip around, but just to give you a taste. And if you feel like you've really got it, then that's fine. In the other one, I am doing number 5, which is a quadrilateral rotated counterclockwise. So you might want to watch that one.